playoffs? Are we talking playoffs? That's right, Jim Morrow, we absolutely are. It's Super 8 time here in Minor League Cricket 2025 here at the illustrious Church Street Park in magnificent Morrisville, North Carolina. Two teams, two divisions, facing off for the very first time this season. It's the Baltimore Royals taking on those New Jersey Stallions. Before we get to the journeys to get to this very point of this season, we have to go to the middle and talk about the two captains and what they decided to do at the toss. Let's go have a listen. Toss time here at Church Street Park and have the toss committee. With me, the two captains, Jesse Singh of the New Jersey Stallions and Sharad Lumba of the Baltimore Royals. Our third umpire, he's handing the coin over to Jesse Singh now, and it will be Jesse flipping it. And when you're ready, Jess.
Tails.
The call is a tails.
And it is tails.
And it's come down to tails. So, Sharad, you've won the toss. What have you elected to do and why?
We like to bowl first, and because the wicket was under the covers for 3-4 days, so we're still not sure that how it will behave. So let's see, we'll bowl first, yeah.
Obviously, yesterday's games were pushed to Saturday. What did you guys do yesterday to keep yourself in good spirits?
Actually, we had some of the boys have good session out on the nets, and we make full use of it, and we are just ready to play today.
Playoff time, you're going to get into your first final. That's what you're looking to do. What is the goal? How do you guys looking to get there?
We are just taking it as a match. We are just going match by match, and we are just not focusing what's going on other side, and we just focusing on the today's match only. Yeah.
There you go. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Jesse, tough luck. Didn't win the toss. Had you won it, what did you want to do and why?
Yeah, I feel like it's just been a regular routine. I've been losing a lot of tosses, but yeah, I mean, I think we would have also, looked to ball first, given the conditions. Obviously, it's been raining for the last week or so, I've heard, and the wicket's been under the mat as well. So, but, given that, I think the wicket is pretty good, especially compared to the wickets we've been playing. So this is a lot better wicket for us. But yeah, I think it's going to be a challenge batting first bit. But yeah, we will look to, soak up that, early on session and see what kind of total we can put on the board. Yeah,
you guys have been perfect up north, but now you've come down to Church Street for the first time. What are you looking for in these conditions?
I mean, obviously, it's a step up. You're coming into playoff. This is a real deal. You're back end of the tournament where you don't have a room to lose any games. So, but we just trying to keep it simple. What's been working for us? I know we have a very young and inexperienced team, but the guy's been top up throughout the season. So, just gonna look to play our cricket the way we've been playing. Stick to our strengths, not worry about anything outside of it, and look to dominate the game.
There you go. Good luck today, Justin.
Cheers. Thank you.
Well, that is the word from the middle. It's the Baltimore Royals. They've won the toss here, and they've elected to have a bowl. Confirmation of that result out in the middle. Those New Jersey Stallions will be sent in to bat first. I'm Om Patel, joined by Nate Hayes. As always, Nate, welcome back to Church Street Park.
Thank you. There's no place I'd rather be. It's a gorgeous day here.
Well, if you look at those teams there, Nate, the New Jersey Stallions, this is a team that went perfect through the regular season. Tell me what sticks out to you on that squad list.
Well, they have 3 USA players, Jesse Singh, Stephen Wigg, and of course Sai Mukamala, but the entire team are full of names that you ought to know if you follow minor league cricket, like Dominic Riggi and Sachin Mailabarapu. Very good team, very scrappy team, and they've dominated in the East, and they've gone undefeated, the only team in minor league cricket to go undefeated this season.
Well, remember last year, it was an undefeated team that won the whole thing, so history bodes well for them. For the Baltimore Royals, when we look at their 11, well, it's filled with that man who was the first to cross the 100-wicket threshold, Sarbjit Singh Ladda, and he's got a leg-spinning partner in Mohammad Mohsin. But I think the biggest adjustment for them and the biggest strength that they've picked up since last season has been that pace bowling department led by Rishi Dhawan and Adil Bhatti, and then the young Aryan Batra makes his way into there as well. So we'll get to see the Royals bowling first. They do have that advantage of playing at Church Street Park throughout the season. Nate, how much of an advantage do you think that plays today?
Well, maybe a little bit, I think so, but at the same time, the New Jersey Stallions have a ton of experience here at Church Street Park. They've made it all the way to the final in 2021. The team isn't that different from that squad. I think it'll be a relief for them to get on this ground. The wicket's better than what they're used to in New York. The outfield's better than what they're used to in New York. I think they need to take advantage of that from go.
Well, you see on your screen Dominic Riggi opening the batting like he so often does for the New Jersey Stallions. His partner, it's a new one this season, Akshay Homraj, who's had a bit of a resurgence in minor league cricket. Adil Bhatti's got the ball for ball 1. and first runs courtesy of an extra. Dominic Rickey, he's been such a staple for the Stallions lineup throughout the years, Nate.
Oh, very steady. Of all East batters, he leads all of them in career runs in minor league cricket. Coming into today, he's been a rock. Former USA player. I mentioned 3 USA players on this squad. Dominic Rickey, former USA player, and Akshay Amraj in the middle with him, also a former USA player.
And you look someone, Anand Bhatti, another former USA player, has been a minute since he's represented them, but he's been such a key addition for the Royals this season. Has historically played up in the East for the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. Before that was the DC Hawks, but all in the Eastern Conference, so would find this opposition fairly familiar. But he's been brilliant this season. 6 innings, 10 wickets to his name, and an economy under 7, up top of the order and in the death. And at this venue in particular, I think he's looked extraordinary.
Oh yeah, he's so good. He's got so many. He's got such a variety of options of how he can attack the batters, and he does it with pace. He does it with length. He does it with movement in the air and off the wicket. He can do a little bit of everything, and he's going to find his way. He's going to find out how to make you uncomfortable, and he's going to stick to that.
Be curious as well to see how this wicket looks. It's been under covers. We've had the big, tropical storm that pushed through for the weekend. Nate, it did push away, which was great before it made that landfall. But it's meant that this surface hasn't seen a whole lot of sun until yesterday and into today. So how does that affect the surface?
Yeah, that's right. The sun didn't really come out until yesterday. We had the games moved back to Saturday, yesterday's games, because of the wetness around the pitch.
This one will get through the infield. You talked about that wetness, so it might just hold up a touch. But they'll come back for a couple of runs, and the first run's off the bat for Dominic Rickey.
Yeah, it's slowing down a little bit in the outfield. It's going to do that. It's been damp out there. The ground is a little bit soft, but it still moves better than most of the outfields in the East. I got to say, probably all of the outfields in the East. You do get value for your shot here at Morrisville, something the East batters really like. They talk about enjoying playing here versus playing in the difficult conditions they have in the East. Those difficult conditions improving all the time. It's not quite there yet.
Well, Jesse Singh talked about it before the toss with me. He said, it's so exciting to be down here. He's excited to be at this facility compared to places he's been so far this season. And Church Street Park just adds that bit of excitement. High on the splice. Dominic Rickey, you talk about his season, 10 innings, an average of just 19, but a high score of 44. So he's had the couple of knocks, Nate, but it hasn't been a fluent season for him, to say the least.
No, you have to be scrappy in the I've said that word a lot now, in the East. You have to kind of dig in, and you can't really look at your strike rate too much. He's had some moments where he's gotten a really great start and he looked like he was really going to go. But that's the end of the over. New Jersey Stallions 3 without loss.
Correction, New Jersey Stallions 4 without loss.
Whoever you are, on the field, the dream is what drives us. Gear up for your dreams. Shop now at dreamcricketstore.com.
We talked about additions for the Baltimore Royals and the pace bowling department. Well, this is another one. Rishi Dhawan, who's come into this team. He's been all over minor league cricket, been a couple of touches, different spots. Obviously, he's playing the IPL and carries that experience. But this is a man, Nate, who has really brought a new element to this Royals team.
Oh, my goodness. And we've gotten to see some explosiveness off the bat from Rishi Dhawan, which makes him even more valuable to this side. But he has been tremendous.
Straight away given. And Rishi Dhawan's first delivery is the first wicket on the board for the Baltimore Royals.
Tremendous stuff. We just talked him up, and they strike early, and they're going to really value that wicket. The power play is where you want to get your runs here at Church Street Park. It gets in the middle overs, and Baltimore's going to have to keep doing this to make it harder on New Jersey Stallions.
Dominic Rickey, it's been another sluggish day for him. Just 3 runs to his name, and he has to walk away. It's 4 for 1. Well, here's your moment. Nate Hayes. Sai Mukamala leads the East in runs this season. 10 innings, 359 runs, an average of 39 at a strike rate of 115. It's been easily his best minor league season. And he's out there in the middle in the second over.
Not only that, but he's pretty much USA's best batter in T20 in recent games, striking at over 150. Now you'll see his strike rate slower here in minor league cricket because of those difficult conditions there in the East. But yes, 359 runs. He's dug them out of some serious holes this season. He's just been so consistent.
Excellent areas from Rishi Dhawan. Again, this is what we talked about, the difference he brings to this team. It's the consistency of length with his hints of movement that just continuously prawl away at batters.
He certainly knows what he's doing. He's a veteran. He's been around for a time. Played against some serious high quality. And here he's got high quality right in front of him in Sai Mukamala.
You mentioned Mukamala's quality. Talk about that T20 international strike rate at 152 at an average of over 42. And that's spread across 18 matches. And he didn't make his T20I debut until this year. Was almost pegged as an ODI cricketer. Gets into a game 50 on debut and hasn't looked back and has been at the top of the T20 order ever since.
He's been fantastic. He's closing in on 1,000 ODI runs too. He's just had an incredible career already for USA, and he's still so young.
This time the in-swinger. Yeah, just 21 years of age. Born in 2004. And again, carries such a high pedigree already. Now his partner, Akshay Homraj, will face his first deliveries. Nate, you mentioned this is a man who's played for the USA in the past, and he really has had a resurgence this season.
He's on a team this season of consequence, a team that made it into the Super 8, which Akshay has played on a lot of teams that finished near the bottom of the table. But this season in 8 innings, he's scored 196 runs at an average of 24 and a strike rate of 127.27. That is a very good strike rate for a top order batter in the East.
Gets through. Starting just to chase a little bit. The Stallions would know that they have to get off to much quicker starts than what they've done this season. It's a real change in mindset for them.
Yeah, and honestly, talking to a lot of these East Division players yesterday, we had the chance to talk to a few. We talked to Kanar Lewis from the Cavaliers. He told me that you want to approach this ground similarly to how you do in the East. You want to score in the power play, and then you know it's going to slow up in the middle overs, but you want to have wickets in hand to go at it for the last 5 or so overs. It's exactly what you want to do here at Church Street Park.
Excellent over from Rishi Dhawan. Just gives up the 2 runs, and he's taken the huge wicket of Dominic Rickey. 2 down, 6 for 1. Excellent start for the Baltimore Royals. And a wide again for Adil Bhatti. So the Stallions in this power play, now you talked about needing to get off to a strong power play. Where do they need to be?
Well, normally I would say you want to be at least 45 runs here at the end of the power play for a loss of 2 or less.
Okay.
Ideally, against a batting side like Baltimore, I think you want to be 50, 55 runs or so after 6. That's tough to get to.
Just jamming it again short and gets his man. Akshay Homraj goes as Adil Bhatti. Change of length, change of results. And the Stallions are 2 down.
That's something Adil Bhatti has done so well this season, is go shorter, but not too short. Give him really a tough job fending something off. Look at this. Just climbs on him so well. He's done this so well here at Church Street Park, hasn't he?
And he's flying away with the wickets. Adil Bhatti. That's the end of Akshay Homraj. Just goes for 1. It's 7 for 2. Christian Thurton walks out into the middle. So now for the Stallions, you've got their 2 leading run scorers on the season. Mukamala at 359 and Thurton at 262 through his 10 innings at an average of 32, with the highest strike rate, second highest strike rate on the team rather, at 125. But it's not about strike rate, Nate. It seemingly now is about survival.
Oh, absolutely. We were just talking about how you want more runs in the power play here. Well, you want to get through the power play without loss too. That's a big part of it.
Adil Bhatti, I don't think you can say enough about him, because typically when you think of Bhatti, you think about him swinging the ball, being full. But what he's added to his game in this season, in particular at Church Street Park, was that delivery there. He's tried to bang it in short on a couple occasions, did it to Dominic Rickey in the first over, and then there was able to just surprise Akshay Homraj.
He gets that difficult chest-shoulder height bounce, and it comes up so well.
He has struggled with the extras this season, but I don't think the Royals will mind it too much, considering the fact that his wicket column has been very, very productive.
Yeah, in 6 innings so far, he's taken 10 wickets at an economy of 6.68. Average of 14.7. That is fantastic. His 1 4-wicket haul, and Aman, he's been so good at Church Street Park.
Gets off the mark to Stern, and a little bit of a misfield will allow him to come back for 2. And I'm just so curious now, how do the Stallions play this? Sent into bat first, finding a new wicket that's been under cover, so it's not going to be easy to bat. Where are they targeting? What are they targeting?
Yeah, I think that they may not know, and it changes as you lose these early wickets for sure. But you do have to put something up on the board against this Baltimore side.
Yorks him, absolutely yorks him, and says no. A shake of the head. How close was this to wicket 3?
Well, Adil Bhatti thinks it wasn't close at all. He thinks it was sure thing. Let's take a look here. No, I think that's a good call.
I'm not too sure it even hit anything there, Nate. Maybe was a bat on the pad that we were hearing.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it would look like a pretty good call to me.
Yeah, tremendous delivery as well from Adil Bhatti. Again, that's what you tend to expect. It's the swing and on a fullish length. And again, his ability to mix it up this season has led to him being even more effective.
When you can bowl the perfect short delivery and then a beautiful Yorker, you're a dangerous person. Add in the way that he moves the ball through the air and off the surface. We see him with cutters at times very effectively.
Well worked from Mukamala. Yet to see a boundary in the innings, Nate, and that's not typically something we think about when you think about Church Street Park and the power play. You tend to see quite a few boundaries early on.
Yeah, I think Baltimore will have to get their foot on the gas here a little bit. Put some more runs up this power play. And you're asking them to do a lot against a good bowling attack here, and we haven't even broke into the spinners yet. That's a big thing, Aman.
Yeah, and that's the biggest difference for me with this Baltimore team. You feel as if their seam bowlers can win you the game versus last year. Even with Zaid Alam, who I actually really liked as a seam bowler, you feel like it was like, okay, how many overs of seam can we get in before we just use all spinners? Now it feels like they might only use 7 or 8 of spin and not try to turn into all their other spin options because their seamers can mount that challenge.
It really depends on the conditions that they have. They have an answer for everything in this bowling attack.
Excellent bowling from Adil Bhatti. Close out over number 3, 13 for 2.
Whoever you are, on the field, the dream is what drives us. Gear up for your dreams. Shop now at dreamcricketstore.com.
What a first over from Rishi Dhawan. 2 for 1, and the big wicket of Dominic Ricky. And typically we see 3 seam overs up front in terms of from one end. Will we see it from Dhawan? Will we see it from Bhatti? Will be the question. First got to get through over 2 of Rishi Dhawan.
And don't forget, we've got Aryan Batra.
Counterattack. The first signs of it as well from Christian Thurton.
Well, they had a fielder right there, but they had him inside the circle. And Thurton just decided to go right over his head. Very well struck.
Yeah, very safe, very measured shot this. Bit of risk involved, taking it in the air and on the up. But he used that front foot stride and trusted his hands. This is what you have to do against a side that's bowling as well as Baltimore is. Throw some counter punches. Excellently carved. Boundary and a single, a dream way to start this over.
Yeah, great patience there from Thurton.
Feels like he always has so much time on his hands watching his innings throughout the season. Even on those tough wickets, it felt that he wasn't forcing the issue. Even with his high strike rate, you felt that all the shots were on its merit rather than just a predetermined, predestined stroke.
He's an excellent addition to this squad. There's no doubt about it. I've been very impressed with Thurton. And speaking of being impressed, here's Sai Mukamala.
Quick single. Very quick between the wickets, both of these two. When they make their minds up. And again, I think that's the one way to claw back into a game against the Baltimore Royals in particular. You feel as if there's a couple more singles on offer.
Well, yeah, you've already got the boundary on the first ball. This frees you up to take singles from here and feel like you've got some good rhythm going. I think that's the way the Stallions need to think about this right now. Take a little bit of pressure off yourself. Rotate strike and get your eye in.
And you've gone from 4 for 2, making that 19 for 2 already. So keeping that scoreboard ticking. just this. This is ideal. That boundary to start the over sets it up perfectly. You've got 7 from the first 4. And again, Baltimore would feel as if, okay, maybe we're not ahead of the game as much as we thought we were.
Right, and there's 2 balls left in the over, 7 off it already. This is good. You can't always think about making up the lost runs too early that you might have missed out on in the first couple of overs of slow play. You want to get back on track right now in the power play and get somewhere around 8 and over starting now.
Still a first slip in for Mukamala. Wow, that is a special stroke from a special young man. And a couple of bounces over the rope for 4.
Well, this is the Sai Mukamala that we know and love. Excellent shot. He's done what the doctor orders all season long. He's come in some difficult situations where he's lasted through some difficult situations with wickets falling all around. Just last week, he steered the innings to a victory when it looked like they might not even get to 100 runs.
And you read that slower one brilliantly, and that's what he does so well. He picks deliveries out of the hand to get to position so early. In the gap. And all the way. It'll be back-to-back boundaries for Mukamala. Yes, just in the end. 3 boundaries in the over, and the Stallions throwing some counter punches in the first sign of life. 28 for 2 after 4.
And you can see that. Just answering, like you said, that earlier over from Dewan. You see the chase given there, but the ball beats it. Yeah, it did slow down a little bit on this wetter outfield. Still got some wheels.
That's huge, that over from Rashid Oven. Now it forces Baltimore to get onto the back foot and have to rethink a plan. Typically when we talk about the Southern Division and you talk about Baltimore, and when they make early inroads, they tend to not just make a 2-wicket inroad. They'll make 3 or 4 and tend to get teams into collapses pretty early. So this could just be an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, that's true. It was a great fight back. They've scored more than half of their runs so far this innings in that 1 over. And they're going to go to Mosen with the ball here for the 5th over.
Yeah, and he's doing it from the the Shiloh end of the ground. Mosen has 9 innings with the ball, 18 wickets to his name, has a 5-wicket haul at this venue, and a common rate under 6, and he's the second most prolific bowler for the Royals, and he's only second because he's behind the most prolific bowler in minor league cricket history.
That's right. And talking to Mosen, because we usually see a lot of bowling from this end, talking to Mosen, he told me he's happy to bowl from either end, whichever end the team desires. I think that really helps his partner Lotta.
Well, he's also operating in the power play here, so it's tremendous skill for the leg spinner to be able to execute their plans with very little protection outside. Remember, the power play, just the 2 fielders in the deep.
We've seen him do a great job of building pressure for his partner at the other end, and then also striking when he needs to. So feeling out the wickets, he's so good at feeling out what the wicket needs.
Changes his pace exceptionally well as well. I think when you talk about him earlier in the year where he might have struggled, he was just a little bit quick through the air and then slowed it down and took so many wickets of his own. I'll be curious to see how he goes about adjusting his rhythm in the Super 8s.
We saw a good stop there by Agni Chopra, who's very good in this inner circle.
Excellently cut. Not sure we'll have quite the legs to get all the way. It will, just in the end. Beautiful from Mukamala.
Just finds the gap perfectly. There wasn't much room for error on that side of the ground. Look at that tiny gap that he found. Strikes it just good enough to get full value.
This is what Sai does. You don't feel as if he's already climbed to 15 off 12. It's a great battle between two Texas Super Kings as well, Mosin and Mukamala.
That is right. These two sides between them, loaded with Major League talent, with USA talent. It is a game you can't miss. Two heavyweights, basically. And this game has a lot of implications.
Googly to close over number 5, 33 for 2.
And Aman, you said they like to go 3 overs with one of their fast bowlers here at the start in the power play, and they're going to do it with Otto Bhatti.
Intriguing to see the change of ends as well for Otto Bhatti. You would have thought maybe just 3 straight from the same end, but he's now on the Cedar Forks side of the ground. So be curious to see what that tactical decision was. Still a slip in though. That's Lumba, the captain.
That one's a wide. To start the over, you mentioned Bhatti does give a few wides here and there. He actually has, coming into today, he had 9 wides, so he's got a couple of today, I think 2. So that's 11 in 6 innings. Sorry, 7 innings, this being his 7th. Rashid Dewan leading the team with 28.
It's a tremendous plan here from the Baltimore Royals. You look at this field, there's a deep point and a deep backward square, so it means that there is that option for Thurton to go straight down the ground. So now they're testing Thurton's patience with that outswing delivery, and you see the length that Bhatti's bowling. He's not trying to pitch it all the way up. He's looking to be on a length or back of it and dare Thurton, against the ball swinging away from him, to muscle it over the top.
Oh, when he does maybe show a little bit of effort there, trying to muscle it a bit. Now, Aman, we talked about how with Mosin, he's got the ability to change pace, to change tactics, or kind of just go out there and execute whatever the plan is. Bhatti is very similar in that way. As a fast bowler, you can get very creative with your schemes.
Yeah, he keeps it very simple, Adil Bhatti, and he's got a couple of different variations, but he does them masterfully well. So you're not worried, okay, is it going to go awry? He backs his skills and executes.
And that one's not going to get through.
And you can see that's Rashid Dewan. He's a bit frustrated because there's no chance for him to take a shot at the stumps. No backup fielder in place there, the vacant mid-wicket inside the ring. And that will also frustrate Thurton at the other end. That was the delivery to take over Rashid Dewan's head. A touch too full, and he wasn't able to take advantage. So this is where I wouldn't be surprised to see Adil Bhatti bang it in short, like we saw it against Akshay Homraj.
Yeah, perhaps the batter thinking a little bit too much there. Now they're moving back the mid-off fielder to long-off, and they're bringing in the point fielder.
Yeah, that slip fielder's also been moved into mid-wicket as well.
And that ends up with just a single there. So what do you think here? What do you think the scheme is here, moving the field like this, Aman?
Yeah, well, I think you saw what it was there from Adil Bhatti, just trying to bang it in. But Thurton also was very much reactive and proactive to the changes in the field, what he saw was the fact that because Poynton was in, he was going to move to off stump, anticipating the ball would be slightly shorter and say there's any width that's going over. So just kind of cornered Bhatti, but this is a good back and forth battle here between bowler and batter.
That was a long, they went to the long end that time, but another single.
Yeah, intelligent stuff here from the Stallions. Again, this is a team that Jesse Singh said there's a lot of new faces, but very experienced because they've been in these situations before. They've been in very tight games where they've had to grind out at their innings. So losing the early 2 wickets, they wouldn't be panicked or flustered by it. They'd almost feel like it's any other game that they've played through this regular season.
The Stallions have always done the little things well, running between wickets, fielding. These little things are big things in the context of big games like this. And that'll be the end of the over. 36, the loss of 2, and the end of the power play. So, Mon, you gotta imagine they're saving Bhatti for the end now for his final over. But in 3 overs, 13 with a loss of 1. What a brilliant start.
Yeah, again, this is what we talked about for this Baltimore Orioles team. The difference from last year where many would have thought they might have been the second best team in that Super 8 to this season where many would consider them to be one of the best teams in the entire league because of the fact that, well, they have the seam bowling options that give them so much depth and so many options. It's not one seam bowler, and if he's out of the attack, you're in trouble. They can, there's days Rishi Dhawan will go 3 overs, 5 for 2. And there's days Adil Bhatti will be 13 for 1 after 3. And you'll take either results in either case, and then it sets up your Sarbjit Singh Ladda, who has made his way into the day with the ball in hand, the man with the 100 wickets, the first ever to do it in minor league cricket.
We see the classic jump, followed by the flight of the ball from Sarbjit Ladda.
It'd be a real test of patience for Thurton as well. Again, very naturally aggressive, likes to get after the bowlers. And this could just play into Ladda's hands. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see that slip fielder get moved to short third, given the aggressive tendency from Christian Thurton.
Ooh, that one turned away quite a bit.
Tremendous also from Ladda in terms of recognition of the batter. Knowing that Thurton wants to free his hands, quicker through the air, pulled the length slightly.
Getting that turn regardless of the fact that he sped it up a bit. And Thurton will be happy to get off strike there. Turn it over to Sai Mukamala.
Again, the Ladda move post power play is to bring the wicket. And if you get through Ladda's overs, even if you're going at 7s and 8s, and you don't give up wickets, you're in a great position.
Another one there.
What a delivery. The dip and then that grip off the surface. Again, this is the mystery that both teams wanted to see play out on this wicket, bowling first. And the Royals, well, they fell on the lucky side of that toss.
Oh, yeah, he's a lot of on it today. I tell you what, he gets such good turn here. He's looking very accurate right now. Mom, we've seen some of his best stuff here at Church Street Park. How many times have we seen him put together some seriously dangerous deliveries? And he's continuing today. That one almost gets through, but it's well stopped at mid-off. He's speeding through the over. 38 with a loss of 2 after 7. It looks like we'll get Batra from the Cedar Fork end. Amon, we talked about how much better this wicket is than what these batters are used to in the East and the outfield as well. But one thing that's different in a way that doesn't help the batters is the boundaries are further here than they are at most East grounds.
Yeah, we heard about it from a couple of Eastern players yesterday. Just that boundary size makes it a touch more true for the bowlers.
That one looked like it was going down the leg to me. I'm going to scamper through for a leg by.
This is a brave decision to bring in an Aryan Batra, but I actually do think it could fit his skill set. Take a look at this LBW. Big in swinger. Yeah, probably just missing leg. But the big thing for Batra is, yes, that swing, that angle back in, but also his change of pace. And the Stallions would have looked at this bowling lineup and said, we have to take advantage of the young man. So this is where you feel the Stallions are going to look to get somewhere up above 15 runs in the over, but Batra can cash in with a couple wickets.
This time he goes a bit wider, and batters tend to have a better chance at scoring against Batra. 4 runs there.
It's just so classy, Mukamala. Again, there's nothing to that shot, just a little bit of a glance. And you see him get into tremendous position early, not rushed by pace, covers all the swing. And again, all hands with third inside the ring. Tremendous recognition from Mukamala.
So we saw what I think is Batra's biggest strength on the first ball, because he bowls it from kind of over his left shoulder and angles it in. When he's doing that, he's very difficult to hit. I think that same arm angle makes it a little easier to hit when he's at the 5th, 6th stump. And that's going to run away. Mukamala turns this one around for 4.
Yeah, you just think about that ball. It just wasn't where Batra would have wanted it at all. Yeah, fine leg inside the ring, maybe a touch unfortunate. It doesn't go to him, but you're never going to affect any quality batter with a delivery like that. Back-to-back boundaries from Mukamala.
And you could see Lada at fine leg playing a little bit fine because of the fact that I mentioned the danger of Batra bowling that angle into the batter. But if he misses, it's pretty easy to get away for 4.
And I think when you're bowling to someone like Mukamala, who's so early to read things out of the hand, the consistent fact that everything's going to come back in isn't really going to mess with his mind unless you're on that perfect length. If he's able to get a read on you, Mukamala's got every shot to offer. So for Batra, this is a great challenge. Where is your option? Where is that length? What's the delivery that you can bowl to him?
And this one just fended off. Not exactly what Sai wanted to do with it. 1 ball to go. They've got 9 from the over. This is good recovery for New Jersey Stallions.
It's important that they were to get 9+ in the over, really 10+ in the over, because again, you're going to get 3 more overs of Sarvjit Ladda, 3 more overs of Mohammad Mohsin.
You had to get runs this over, and it's going to end with a dot ball. And after 8 overs, New Jersey Stallions 47 for 2. Absolutely walloped that one for 6 runs. Thurton is not waiting around right now. He got the length he wanted, and he smashed it.
Well, Thurton showed signs in the last over against Aryan Butler as well that he's ready to go and go big. So this is your little battle. And he says, I don't care that you've taken 100 wickets. You've bowled in my slots, and you're going to have to get that one from over the cage here at Church Street Park.
Good job by Thurton for picking out the right ball for the shot and staying relatively on top of it. How many times do we see a slog sweep gone wrong against Sarbjit Lada?
And that's why, for me, I would love to see Slip be taken out into a short third, because I don't think Thurton's done in this over.
And you're right about that. Well stopped, very well stopped. Is that Rishi? Is that Rishi? It's Rishi.
Rishi Ramesh there,
Rishi
out on the
Ramesh.
boundary. Yeah, tremendously done. Would have been in a tough situation because of how flat that would have been. Would have been caught whether to go forward, to come back, whether to take the catch or not. And in the end, does a tremendous job to push that one back in.
He did a great job there. I went through all the Rishis. Oh, and he's gone.
Yeah, again, I think Thurton just got too greedy. Hit the boundary to start the over. You saw the next ball didn't quite get the same result. This time tries to use his feet, and so often Sarbjit Ladda wins in flight. He didn't pick it out of the hand, the slowest nature, the dip. Spins right past him, goes on a Thursday stroll, and Juskran says, you got home too late, bud. You've got to go and walk back. And he goes, after getting off to a decent start, it's 55 for 3.
Looks like we got Sai Sudan coming into the middle here. He was very good last week. He partnered with Sai Mukamala to recover for the Stallions, setting a good score against, I believe it was the New England Eagles. In their final game, they were really threatened to lose, to be handed their first loss of the season, and these two Sais in the middle got the job done.
Yeah, and you talk about that 32 that he scored. That was his highest score on the season. Before that, hadn't scored above 5 runs. So he's coming in with a decent bit of confidence. Can he carry that in, again, against the bowler that is the most effective minor league bowler in the history of this competition?
Yeah, we talk about how well Lada's turning the ball now. It's really kind of brave to come down the wicket at him when the ball's turning that much, and then to kind of shuffle away from it to give yourself space.
Didn't pick it. He didn't pick it at all, Nate. And again, that's why for me, Thurton was such a key man, because he can take on Sarbjit Ladda, and we saw him do it. But there's just that lack of smarts, really, lack of maturity to say, okay, I hit my 6, let me just get out onto the non-strikers. And
lack of patience, really. Well defended there. Anytime you're going to defend on your front foot against Lada, you know you're risking the ball spinning off the edge.
I know the Stallions have defended low totals, but Church Street Park and the Baltimore Orioles are two different challenges that they are yet to see this season.
Once again, Sai comes skipping down the track, and Sarbjit Lada just turns it away from him. Jaskaran has the reach to get it done, and he has to go back for a duck.
You see Mukamala in disbelief at the other end, is yet to move a single muscle. He can't believe that he's seen an action replay. A skip down, that's nowhere to be found, and Malhotra lightning with the gloves, and Ladda jumps into the sky and is a bolt of lightning on the way down. Ladda's got his second, and the 4th now fall for the Stallions, 55 for 4 at the close of over 9.
And that'll bring in Ramanveer Dullawal. Aman, how good has Jaskaran been behind the stumps today?
Yeah, the South just tends to have really flamboyant keepers, don't they? And Malhotra is right up there amongst the rest of them. And again, with the gloves, he's been absolute lightning. If you remember earlier in his minor league career, didn't keep, was trying to bowl more and more. And then since that first season of Major League where he did keep for the Los Angeles Knight Riders, he's been behind the stumps every single game. And his team has benefited greatly for it.
What a grab there by Rishi. Unbelievable stuff. What a catch.
How quickly can the game turn when you do something special? And when Ludda takes wickets, this team seems to be firing. And now Rishi Ramesh, after tremendous work on the boundary, this time it's in the inner ring. And there's no more important wickets in the Stallion side. That's Simon Kamala gone for 29. And have a look at this. It was flashed hard in the air for a moment, moving out to his left. And yeah, he knew it all the way. Held the glasses on the way through as well. The former under-19 captain takes the former under-19 cricketer in his own right. 55 for 5 as Mosen takes his first wicket.
That'll bring Jesse Singh into the middle, the captain of this squad. And Jesse's been absolutely dynamite with the bat this season. 180 runs in 9 innings, 3 times not out. 30 average, a 176.47 strike rate. Aman, he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, he's their 5th leading run scorer on the season, which historically isn't tremendous in the sense of the fact that you don't want Jesse Singh to be your 5th highest scorer, but it's shown that he's got this ability in him to be a very effective cricketer. And Malhotra, he would have seen a lot of Jesse Singh as a member of that USA team previously, but the slips in, and it'll be a big challenge now with Mohammad Mohsin in the wickets alongside Sarbjit Ludda. This is where the Baltimore Royals bread is most definitely buttered.
No doubt about it, and he is going to face now his second batter in 2 balls on his first ball of the innings because New Jersey Stallions has just kind of collapsed here. And that catch by Rishi Ramesh was absolutely phenomenal. He's already put together 2 highlight reel plays, if you ask me.
And they're huge. Remember, if Thurden would have cleared that one for a second boundary, I'm not sure he's going to run at Sarbjit Ludda. So those are the little things that you mentioned the Stallions do well. The Royals this season have dominated those little things straight throughout the year.
Unbelievable. Their fielding has been absolutely tremendous. The effort in the field from the Baltimore Royals. Oh, that one gets through. Not sure how that didn't take down the bails, but what a ball there.
Yeah, well, Mohammad Mohsin, again, many consider him to be the country's best leg spinner. And he's been so effective in Major League Cricket, and he's finally starting to see the same kind of minor league success.
And that one's cut late. Gonna get at least 2 off of this. Yeah, Mohsin, he's been tremendous in Major League Cricket for that Texas Super Kings squad. Wasn't drafted initially, was taken in the supplemental draft heading into that first season, and what a find he was. I mean, we always knew he was good ever since the first time we saw him in minor league that season. He was fantastic.
And again, many would chop up the reason to why he wasn't selected in that regular draft year 1 was just the fact that he got hurt during the combine. I don't think many people would have questioned. I think had he been healthy, I think he would have been off the board very, very quickly.
I think so. I think absolutely he would have. But he's been healthy here as of late, and it shows in his numbers. That one's just chopped. They're going to get a couple off of this, or they're just going to, they're going to run 2 for the final ball of the over, and the New Jersey Stallions move to 60 with a loss of 5.
What a change. Sharan Lumba comes in.
Yeah, Lumba in the attack. We know that he's a very good spinner. On this team, it's almost like he could be an overeater.
Almost surprised to not see a third over of Sarbjeet Ludden right now, Nate, considering the fact he just took 2 wickets.
Yeah, it is a surprise. But we see Lumba insert himself in the attack at various points. He's always effective. He's always he's pretty economical. I think maybe he's saying, you know what, let these guys have a whack at me. Try to get a wicket here.
Well, you also consider the fact that you're going to have to make up that 5th bowling option as well. Left-handers on strike at the moment, but given that Aryan Butler's first over went for 9, maybe just trying to steal an over of his and give him just maybe 3 or 2 overs to have to work with at the end.
Yeah, I think so. They're spoiled for choice, really. They could do a lot of things on this team. You know, we see the East Bay Blazers out there in the Pacific, very similar. Just a team full of all kinds of bowling options. You got tons of people you can give 4 overs to.
Yeah, they do. They're spoiled for choice, and there's plenty of choices that still haven't been given the ball or on their bench. You look at Rishabh Joshi, who really you could pencil him into most sides in minor league cricket, if you ask me, with that left arm seamer, the way he played in his one opportunity.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely loaded team, this Baltimore Royals side, and also Neo Navrekar hasn't seen much action this season, or Ravinder Singh.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how deep this team is, just through and through. So many options. You talk to the players in this team, they tell you they're confident that just about anybody can get the job done.
We've seen Mukhtar Ahmed with the ball in his hand throughout the year. And just the 1 run so far off Lumba's over. Again, he's not really a big turner of the ball, Lumba, but he darts it in. He's attacking off stump at all times.
And last season when we saw Lada get hurt, we saw Yevon Gunatalake come in and take 2 wickets the very next game, so they're deep everywhere.
Even in the youth category. Close of over number 11, 61 for 5. Third over for Mohammad Mohsin, operating at that cedar fork end of the ground. Trying to get through these overs quickly now are the Baltimore Royals, and maybe that's a big factor is why you're seeing more and more spinners and not the Sarbjeet Ludda brand of spinner.
Yeah, and we know Mohsin just goes through his overs so quick.
How has that missed? How has that missed? That inside edge from Jesse Singh. Very fortunate to still be upright.
And you don't want too many dot balls compiling against Mohsin. You don't want to give him too many chances.
And gets off strike. So now, Nate, at this point, if you're the Stallions, what is the target in mind?
I think you still got to think in the 120 range. We got to get to 100 first off. But I think you still got to look at somewhere around 120 right now. I know that's a lot to ask.
I was going the opposite way. I don't think that's enough to ask at this point.
It's a realistic accomplishment that they can do from here.
I would have thought you guys said 135, 140, just given the fact that the last 5 overs tend to be fruitful.
Well, maybe I'm just the pessimistic of the two of us.
Or maybe you're just seeing how Mohammad Mohsin is bowling, and you're saying, I'll cut these guys a bit of slack. You know that every single one of these players are happy to get games in. It was very disappointing to not see action yesterday, but we haven't lost a single game, ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody collectively knock on wood there.
Yes, those games have been pushed into Saturday. And so, we love to have those reserve days, and that's what we're going to do. So the games initially scheduled for yesterday, they will be taking place Saturday at Church Street Park. So we'll have Friday and Saturday with only Atlantic Super 8 action. The Pacific, well, it ends today, that Super 8, doesn't it, Nate? And we'll see the first of those two matches start with East Bay taking on the Silicon Valley Strikers. Bolden straight through the googly. And Mohammed Mohsin's point to the sky means the wicket is fallen.
That's the big one right there. Jesse Singh has been a powerhouse for this squad this year, putting up runs in a hurry. And he's going to have to instead go back to the bench in a hurry. What a googly there from Mohsin, and Jesse just did not pick that.
Not many people do pick the googly. Just look at where that front foot is. Nowhere near the ball. All hands, and Mohammed Mohsin saw all three stumps. And Jesse Singh struts back to the dugout for just 3. It's 63 for 6 at the close of 12. Flying through the overs, the Baltimore Royals, and also flying through the wickets. Anirudh Emanuel, the youngster, he's in at the non-striker's end. And it will be Anirudh Emanuel on strike. Nate, out in that Pacific Conference, it does feel like it's the night game that will decide it all.
A lot of people were looking forward to that game, this tournament. I talked to some of the players from on this side of things about how they thought things were going to shake up, and this was before any of the games were played yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They said they think it's going to come down to Kingsman versus Kings 11 for the evening game today, and that's exactly what it looks like it's going to be.
Yeah, the Chicago Kingsmen, they've been perfect through the Super 8, 4 points through 2 games, so 2 wins, and Kings 11 did drop their first game to East Bay, but a commanding victory yesterday puts them on 2 points with a net run rate of .58. The East Bay Blazers on 2 points with a net run rate of .12. So all that to be said to say that East Bay would need a monumental win and a mammoth win over the Silicon Valley Strikers today to even be given a chance to get through to the next round.
Yeah, it would have to be a really sizable win. You're talking about, and you're going to have to count on the Kings 11 Dallas to lose.
The Kings 11 Dallas would have to win, actually. The Kingsmen win and they're in.
That's right. I'm sorry. Yes, I got it wrong. There's a lot of Kings involved.
Shadad Lumba just getting through this over. It is the East Bay Blazers batting first, so that won't bode well for them as we start play down in Dallas here on MLC Network. And they would have just tipped off right now. Tune in to Brian Walters and Joe Hickey at Grand Prairie Stadium. When you're not tuned in to us, no, but you can tune in to them as well. They're great, fantastic listens.
You probably got multiple devices. Let's be real. Like put them both up there, right?
It's like you're watching the NFL or March Madness. That's what we'll call it here. And a single to close over 13. Just 2 runs from it, 65 for 6. And what's also great, Nate, is that night game, Kingsman, Kings 11. that wraps up the Pacific Conference this season. Well, how did the Pacific Conference start? With that very game. It was the Kings 11 Dallas who won it against the Chicago Kingsmen. So it'll be fitting that that's the way to close the Pacific Conference and see who will be up here at Church Street Park for that final on Sunday. As Mohamed Mohsen, he has his 4th over, eyeing a 3rd wicket. Would expect a lot of googlies to the right-hander, and there's a very much a gully in place for Emmanuel.
Aaron Emmanuel this season has scored 37 runs on just 28 balls. Average of 9.25. Not called on a lot. But he's bowled quite well this season. He's had a bit of a breakthrough season with the ball, has Aaron Emmanuel. His best season so far in his minor league career. We'll get to him in the next innings. But he took 8 wickets this season in 37 overs. An economy of 4.89. Very economical for a leg spinner.
Yeah, and again, he's had a couple of teams. He was part of the Philadelphians, vice captain over there for a minute. And he's made the transition into this New Jersey Stallions team this season.
Filling some big shoes. Ray Ramerton no longer with this Stallions team. It feels unusual. It feels crazy. It feels weird not having Ray in this team.
And he moved on to the Philadelphians.
That's right. They fell short this season.
Oh, would have been phenomenal. Would have been an absolute one-handed hanger. Instead, it will bring a couple of runs for the Stallions. You said 120. That feels more and more like what it is going to be. And it feels like that might take some hell of a batting performance.
Yeah, it's going to take some effort here with only 4 wickets in hand. In the middle of the 14th over here, it's going to take some work to nearly double your score. Just in the last 6 overs.
Mohamed Mohsen is a really unsung hero in minor league cricket, and unsung's a strong word, but he will never get the limelight for what he does with the ball because of Sarbjeet Ladda. He'll never get the limelight what he does with the bat or nor what he does in the field, but he is such an addition to this team. They brought him over last season, and there was an immediate shift in their identity as a unit. Straight to the man. Emmanuel's heart was in his mouth for a long time, and Mohamed Mohsen closes his day with his 3rd wicket.
I mentioned those Church Street boundaries. They got to feel really big right now if you're the Stallions. And Emmanuel's got to go back to the bench. Mohsen delivers on his final ball of the day. 16 for 3 for Mohsen in 4 overs. Look at this.
It was hit nicely off the middle of the bat, agonizingly in the air for a long time, and well done and well judged on the rope in the end. A fitting way to end number 9's day with the 3rd wicket. It's 69 for 7. Nawab Singh, non-strikers end. As you get rid of Mohamed Mohsen, you got to see Sarbjeet Ladda now. Great 1-2 punch. Oh, what turn Ladda is extracting off this Church Street wicket.
And he does this every time he plays here. He gets such a tremendous amount of turn. He's just every ball looks dangerous from Sarbjeet Ladda here at Church Street Park.
And his googly is so much more deceptive. So now he's got Dhaliwal fending at wider deliveries. The Royals also, with some new additions of Agni Chopra, maybe some retentions in Kumrajit Singh, their ability in the field has taken a massive step up from last season.
Oh, big time. Big time. Kubberjeet, you mentioned, he's just such a hustler in the field. Rishi Ramesh, so good in the field. Obviously, Mohsen, whom we talked about. You see that effort from everyone on the team right now, and it is expected from their captain.
Yeah, and Rishi Ramesh is a great example. He was on the team last season as during the Super 8 they picked him up, and then you were wondering, okay, are they going to bring him for next year, or is that was just kind of there in Dallas? They needed an individual, and they've gone and backed the young man. And he's had points of frustration this season where he wasn't batting well, but if you can promote yourself in the field and be someone that's consistent there, teams value that tremendously.
Well, he just matches this team's identity they've had the last couple of seasons, which is a team that plays hard, they field hard.
Straight through. No, says no, the umpire. It got straight through everything. It might have just raced away to the boundary as well. It has. And there was no signal of bye, so it says it's come off the bat, according to the umpire at the moment.
Well, everybody's asking questions here, including us.
And Sarabjit Ludda saying, if it hasn't come off the bat, admit it. He doesn't want the runs to go against his name.
Well,
and you can see Rahul Partwardhan just telling Ludda it's come off the bat. It's okay. You've got to move on. Let's have another look, Nate. I'm not sure it hit anything. It looked to me like it just went straight through.
what a ball.
And now the stumpings come out. 2 slips, Ludda spinning it around corners.
Well, he has a whole over to go after this. Already taken 2 wickets to 15 runs. Everything is happening right now in the middle, and it's not happening good for New Jersey.
Tremendous over from Ludda, even with the boundary. 15 gone, 74 for 7.
Well, Lumba stays on. He likes the chance here against this lefty, Dullawall. Just put something in their minds, keep them from feeling free. Straight down the ground there, and that is going to make him feel free for sure. What a shot.
Shot of authority. Needed that, did the New Jersey Stallions. Why haven't you come out earlier, Dhaliwal? Where's that been? Kept it in the locker for a minute, but got one in his zone and doesn't need a second invitation. Again, if you're the New Jersey Stallions, you're sitting there saying, all right, we win or lose this game, we've got to give ourselves a net run rate chance to still be in the Super 8s. You lose big early, and your Super 8 will fly away. Those dreams are gone.
And I think that ball is gone along with the dreams there. And they're going to bring the ball box out, it looks like.
All right, Nate, we talked about 120s. That's still what you're eyeing at this point with 5 overs to go, 80 runs on the board. Is it still with a 120, 40 from the last 5?
Well, after that 6, I think you gotta be looking at around 120. New Jersey's got a very good bowling attack. They're used to defending lower scores. Of course, they're doing it on wickets that are more favorable for bowlers.
But mainly for spin bowlers. But you look at their leading wicket takers this season. Stephen Wigg with 16 wickets spread across 10 innings, and Jesse Singh with 11 spread across 10 innings. Yes, they've gotten tremendous contributions from Sachimai Lavarapu, Rushik Patel, Anirudh Emanuel, and even Saimo Kamala. Yes, those are 4 spinners, But there's turn on this wicket, and you have the seam lineup to make early inroads. So you give yourself a chance at getting to 130, 135. Maybe you don't win, but I think you can make it a challenge for those Baltimore Royals.
And we've seen success here from the fast bowlers and the spinners. Obviously, in the East, you'll see Jesse Singh only bowling 29.3 overs in 10 innings. That's less than 3 overs an innings.
Right.
Now, Jesse still took 11 wickets with that. You got to imagine Jesse's going to probably bowl if they can take it down to the wire. Jesse will bowl his full quota. You have to imagine.
And think about Stephen Wigg's success at Church Street Park. How often do we see him nail Yorkers wide line or on the toes?
There's not many people who are as good as he is at bowling those Yorkers, and even fewer who are better. That one's slashed, just going to be 1 run.
You like to see the intent from Dhaliwal. Again, I think there's a lot of people that have kind of written this game off. All right, it's a Royals win, but give yourself a chance in the second innings. You don't know, right? You bat out your overs, see what you can come up with, and then see if you can take a couple early wickets. It's 3 wickets early, 2 wickets in the power play, and it's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, you want at least 10. You want around 10 and over here. They got 6 with that first ball. That takes the pressure off. You can't get it all back at once, so you just have to play 1 over at a time right now. And that's what you don't really want if you're New Jersey. You don't want the dots, especially multiple dots. So Nawab here is going to want to get a single and get the other wall on strike again. A quicker delivery that time, flatter. But Singh can't do anything with it. And now you started with that 6, you had 7 after 2, and you still have 7 after 4. And this will be smashed away to the square side for 4 runs. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, bring it to 11 after 5. Tremendous stuff from Nawab. Again, maybe not the most convincing stroke, but made it look easy in the end. Picked the gap between backward square and cow corner. Committed that front foot, and yeah, it would have been in much trouble if you didn't connect. But again, yeah, understanding your scoring options are such a big deal as a batting side, as a batting unit. Where can you score? Where are your options for boundaries and singles?
He only has the 1 inning with the bat coming into today.
Okay, so you're screening off or on? Okay, so you're screening off. That's why I don't
I'm going to run 2 out of this one. And that's a great way to end the over with 13 runs off of it. The end of 16, the New Jersey Stallions 87 with a loss of 7. And Lada will bowl his final over here, the 17th over of the innings. He's already looking great, 15 runs with 2 wickets to his name. And Dhaliwal will be happy to get off strike here. This is what you want to do for this over. You just got 13 in the last over. You know, we said that you want to go about 10 and over here, but they'll be happy with 7 runs here, I think, against Lada in his final over.
Yeah, no question. Again, you as a batting pair have found some success, so don't throw your wicket away. Just tune in, get yourself to 93, 94 at the end of the over.
Nawab goes with the reverse sweep shot. Ooh.
I'm all for being bold and playing your game, but that feels out of left field and very unnecessary. Not to Sarvjeet Ladda. I get it. Point is inside the ring, third's inside the ring. You get it past them, it's 4. but there's so much risk involved. That's why there's so much risk, because he gets it to turn out of seemingly nowhere.
The suspense that Lada builds with the flighted delivery. And I think that all starts with that big hop he takes as he approaches in his action, and he almost freezes at the top of his jump. I think his hair acts as a little bit of a parachute to keep him suspended in air just a little while, but it builds suspense. And that one struck real well, but it looks like it's going to be caught, and it is. Rishi Ramesh once again gets to the ball in a hurry, gets behind it. He did a great job taking a wonderful route to that ball, and Sarbjeet Lada strikes again.
There's got to be an understanding of the situation. You did not need a boundary off of Sarbjeet Lada. It's very difficult to go to the big end of the ground there. Rishi Ramesh is stationed perfectly for it. Yes, you put a couple away, but now you have to walk back, and it's all 8s on the board, 88 for 8. And the Stallions at risk of being bowled under 100.
Well, if you're the Stallions, your hole just got a little bit bigger, but you're not out of the woods totally yet. If you are Baltimore, Stephen Wick can carry the bat a bit. And that's one more ball left from Lada's day, Aman.
Yeah, Stephen Wigg's doing the smart thing. Just see the over out. I would expect a similar stroke to follow. Put the bat down. No run on offer. Get out of this over with just the 1 run and just the 1 wicket.
They've got a second slip in place here.
They're trying to bait you, Stephen. They want you to turn your face. Keep it full. Straight bat.
And onto the back foot after all that flight. Give him a little extra time to defend that one. And New Jersey Stallions 88 for 8.
Yep.
And Rishi Dhawan, another Rishi with the ball here. He's bowled 2 overs, taken 1 wicket, 17 runs to his name. He had that first one where he went for only 2, and then followed up by probably the biggest over of the innings for the New Jersey Stallions, where they scored 15. I think it was the 4th over, 3rd over? It's the 4th over. I think it was the 4th over, yes. And Dhaliwal cut this one right to the boundary fielder. And now it's 89 for 8. So we're out for the triple 8s.
Yeah, the key here for the Stallions is get yourself to 100. How can you do that? And again, it might not just be for a win here, but you don't want to be in a position where you were last season. Remember, they got utterly embarrassed their first Super 8 game and were basically out of the contention for the finals after day 1. Yes, they kept losing, but you don't want to give yourself a chance that in day 2 or in day 3 you're all right. You have a chance and you're fighting in that last day like East Bay still is. Well, it's unlikely, but that's the position you want to be in.
Absolutely, yeah, you're right. You do not want to head into the second day of your games having just been beaten badly against teams that are hungry. Not just teams that are hungry, Super 8 teams that are hungry.
There's no letting up, right, in the Super 8. You're never going to get those easy wins or everyone's going to be switched on. They know what's on the line. It's not just, you talk about for the team, yes, winning a championship. Everyone wants to win that championship. But how many guys, thanks to tremendous Super 8 performances, were drafted into Major League Cricket? Think of Kunwarjit Singh, think of Sharad Lumba, even a Shubham Ranjane brought back in because of tremendous Super 8 performances.
And that one looks like it's gone, and it is gone. A catch behind as Dhawan goes short. That is the end of the day for Stephen Wigg, unfortunately for the New Jersey Stallions. And they've only got 1 wicket to work with.
Yeah, tremendously directed. Short, right on the head, nowhere to go. The hands just really followed. And the second time we've seen a short ball from the Royals lead to a wicket. It was the second wicket of the day, and now it's the second to last wicket for the New Jersey Stallions, 89 for 9.
And Sachin Malavarapu is going to come into the middle. Not exactly known for his batting. But my goodness, has he been a great bowler for New Jersey Stallions over the years. He's going to have to try to team up here with Dhaliwal and put a few more runs on the board. You do not want to try to defend anything nearly this low against the Royals. So they're going to want to recover and use these last couple of overs that they have. These last 15 balls, they want to score off of these.
And again, even if it's just singles, make the Royals bowl him. There's that little bit of fatigue, a couple of extras maybe. You talk about Rashid Dhawan struggle with those. Just make sure you play all 20.
And that's going to get a shout. Oh, not a very earnest shout, as it was definitely going down the leg. But Malavarapu survives the very first delivery from Dhawan.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Dhawan go one more full and straight. If Sachin Malavarapu survives that, a short ball is inbound, Nate.
Well, there you go, everybody. You can bank on that. Come on. Every week we say that you should play the lottery.
Still haven't. Still yet to play the lottery.
You haven't played the lottery yet.
There was full and straight, touch slower, and Malhotra well dove.
Hopefully he's all right there. I think he's fine. So here we go. Aman says this next one's going to be short. You still think that?
Still feel it. I've said it, and I'm going to back myself here.
Here we go. This is the fun stuff right now.
Come on, Rishi. Do it for me. Change of the field, too, as that mid-wicket fielder is being just brought more around. Thought he was going to bring him up, and that would have definitely clued into the short one.
We never get out of here in time to buy the lottery tickets. That's the problem. Well, you were wrong that time, and it's going to be caught, and that's the end of the innings right there. New Jersey Stallions will end 89 for 9 as Lada takes the final wicket in his hands. Rishi Dhawan, absolutely brilliant today with 3 wickets.
It is tossing the carrot, wasn't it? Slower delivery. Said Sachin, hit it. Tried, and the 10th wicket simply and safely falls in the hands of number 10. The New Jersey Stallions, they're all done. It's 89 all outs here in over 18, and the Baltimore Royals, after having to wait 24 hours to get a game on, well, they said, we will wait as long as you need. We'll dominate whatever time you let us play. You look at that batting card, and it's Stringalow scores after the partnership of Saiteja Mukamala and Kristen Thurton, each of them with 20 of their own. But after that, Nate, you just never felt that the Stallions were in the game.
It's hard to imagine they had a partnership that good with the final score like this. But they did. They looked really good. They looked like they were going to do something. But they didn't do anything thanks to Rashid Dhawan, Mohammad Mohsin, and Sarbjit Lada. And look at that. Unbelievable. They lost 3 wickets in the space of 0 runs from wicket 3 to number 5.
Tremendous stuff from the Baltimore Royals, and they have a measly total on their hands to chase. Whether it was opening the bowling in the middle or at the end, the Royals dominated Now they'll only need 90 from their 20 when we return. Don't leave MLC Network. There's another game going on. The East Bay Blazers, they're taking on the Silicon Valley Strikers. Tune in to them and then come back and join us at Church Street Park. Welcome back to Church Street Park. Second innings getting ready to get underway as the Baltimore Royals only need 90 runs. Yes, you heard me correctly. 90 required from 20 overs. And the two men to go out there and try to get it done. Mukhtar Ahmed and Gunwarjeet Singh. It was a revamped opening pair that the Royals brought in midway through the season, but it's been a change that's worked a treat. Opening the bowling as the captain for the New Jersey Stallions, Jesse Singh. The USA vice captain will need to make early inroads, and he's got ball one underway. On the money. Nate, we talked about that change for the Royals to bring these two in the opening position, and it's worked quite well for them.
Worked out very well. We haven't really seen Mukhtar Ahmed catch fire this season, and they've still won, dominated 9 of the games they've been in. They've won 8. They had the 1-no result due to weather, but imagine this, Mukhtar Ahmed opening the batting for you, being currently the 4th leading run scorer for you, and you're still dominating the South Division.
Ahmed is up at the order to do this, to try to put his impetus on the other side. But he struggled with that. There's no question he has. He's had the 1 big innings of 44, a couple of starts, a quick fire 20. But other than that, it's been a real slim season for him.
Yeah, it has been, and it's been covered up by the fact that this Baltimore team just throughout the whole roster bats very, very well. And Gunwarjeet Singh himself carrying the load for most of the season for Baltimore, having some amazing innings.
Wow, look where that one's found. The wicketkeeper. Gloves are really by his nose. Tremendous bounce.
Yeah, tremendous bounce. A good leave in the end, I think, by Mukhtar. He's had moments this season where we thought he was about to just break out, and we were going to see the Mukhtar Ahmed that we know is there. But, in the last innings we talked a lot about the fielding efforts from this Baltimore team. We didn't say Mukhtar Ahmed's name, but my goodness, he is tremendous in the field. He's just a good cricketer that seems to really enjoy the game and care about the game.
Chance. Real chance. First wicket. Jesse Singh strikes in his very first over.
That's exactly what you need if you're the New Jersey Stallions. Jesse Singh delivers it without allowing a run. We mentioned the ball climbing, and there it did that again, this time off the stumps. And Mukhtar's trying to take this towards mid-wicket, but he takes it towards the sky instead.
The Royals, well, they're in a bit of trouble. None for 1. Sharad Lumba, the captain, struts out at number 3. He's been in early very often this season, Nate. But he'll be in with a challenge. Jesse Singh, what a start for that man.
Yeah, he's a tremendous bowler. He likes this ground as well. He's performed well at this ground for this team. He's a leader on this team, a very good captain. And he's got them off to a great start. They got to feel like they're really in the game right now.
Well, fun battle this. 2 MI New Yorkers against a former MI New Yorker. Jesse Singh, he's a 2-time champion in Major League Cricket with 2 different franchises. He's been on 3 different franchises in his career, but he's been on 1 minor league team. He's captained them from the very first season, and he's been prolific.
And what a journey he's had, representing USA as well in the World Cup. And since, in his last 2 minor league games before today, he was on fire. He took 5 wickets between the 2 games. He was crucial in their most recent victory. As captain versus its captain on this one.
And you mentioned that World Cup that Jesse Singh was part of. He also, since then, has become the vice captain of the USA team in both formats of the game, T20 and ODI. He's captained the USA in an absence from Monik Patel as well.
I've always really liked his captaincy here with this New Jersey Stallions squad. This is a team that in their entire existence has won, 78% of their games. You don't do that with poor leadership. You've never missed out on the playoffs.
First runs for the Baltimore Royals, but what a first over for those New Jersey Stallions is 1 for 1 after the first. Well, Gunarjit Singh, he watched the entirety of that over the non-strikers end. I'll have to do more watching as that single was taken off the last, so they'll have to switch back, and it means Stephen Wigg will come into the attack. And we talked about in the first innings, even with all the talk about the East wickets being suited for the spin bowlers, the New Jersey Stallions this season have been led by their pace tandem of Wigg and Singh, and Wigg has been the most prolific bowler for the New Jersey Stallions. 16 wickets spread across 10 innings, an economy under 6, an average under 12, and a strike rate of 12.
He's been phenomenal his entire minor league career. Has been selected with USA. He played for one game for the Texas Super Kings in Oakland.
Yeah, took 2 wickets in that game.
Yeah, he was quite good. I believe he was the player of the match that game, as the Texas Super Kings just pile up their domestic player of the match performances over their 3 years in their franchise history.
What a statement of a start for Sharad Lumba. I believe that's gone all the way for a monstrous 6.
Yeah, that barely got over the rope, but it did get over the rope. In the power play, you can barely get over the rope all you want at 6 runs. What a shot there by Lumba.
It's not a bad ball. It's actually caught a little bit of extra bounce, but Lumba had come down the track. He looked to negate the swing and then was in such great position. He's got such great hands, Sharad does, and it was a Super 8 that was his coming out party last season. Do we have a repeat of the dosage?
And Stephen Wigg, typically so good in the power play and in the death.
Oh, just short. It was a real chance in the air for a very long time, but Emmanuel couldn't get to it.
Look at this ball here from Wigg. Look how it comes back onto the batter after pitching on the leg side. Lumba's definitely thought that was going to be more towards his hip than it was. What a delivery there by Stephen Wigg.
Remember Lumba's unbelievable 46 and a chase down that only lasted the power play came against the Stallions last season. So there might be some wounds and some payback that needs to be paid. Excellent movement, prodigious movement off the surface.
Yeah, Wigg just keeps getting better and better every year. Very exciting player to watch develop. No moment ever seems too big for him. We've seen him here at Church Street bowling in the death in some very serious times, delivering incredible performances. I remember against Matthew Ford in the death bowling some Yorkers right there on the wide line to beat Matthew Ford, and we know what's happened to him, what he's going on to do.
In the gap. Won't get all the way, but Lumba's able to come back for 2. Yeah, Stephen Wigg was someone that I think a lot of people were surprised to have found out that he only debuted for the USA this past year out in Grand Cayman. And just again, given the prolific minor league career that he's had, Wasn't surprised to see him get taken into Major League as well. As a left-arm fast bowler, there aren't too many better than that man on your screen.
His ability to hit those Yorkers, the wide line Yorkers, very few people have that skill. He's bold about it, and he delivers, he executes brilliantly. It's an excellent skill to have in this format in particular.
That extra bounce is really causing Lumba some problems. He's unsure of where to really try to maneuver the ball.
We saw it pay off for Baltimore with the ball in the first innings with their fast bowling duo, each taking a wicket due to a ball that got great bounce, quick bounce. That's not to say that this is a wicket that's up and down or anything. It's been pretty consistent. This is the skill of the bowlers here.
In the air. In the gap. And just saved. Exceptionally well done by the New Jersey Stallions. Saves 2 runs to close out over number 2, 11 for 1. Every single run so vital, and efforts in the field can make such a huge difference. Nate, this save here, among the best that we've seen.
Just a great stop. Really put his health on the line here. Could have easily gotten injured. That's Nawab Singh there driving for that. What a great job. Just rolling afterwards to protect himself quite well, but his ability to get down and scoop that back was phenomenal.
Wow. Gunarjit Singh has waited 2 overs to see a delivery, and that's how he was greeted. The gust of wind that picked up right as the ball was delivered didn't help, but that is a strong start from Jesse Singh.
Holy smokes, that delivery, that ball, one of the best balls we've seen today. That swing was pretty immense, and Gunarjit just shows his class by fending that off. Let's see it again. Look at this ball. Oh my gosh, it just took a left turn, didn't it?
And how casually Gunarjit Singh just clipped it off his toes as well. But Jesse Singh, he's been in real rhythm. When he's bowling like this, there aren't many better. Again, look at the prodigious movement in the air. It's going to be a fun day, Nate Hayes.
This is some wiffle ball movement here. I mean, the ball, the prior ball looked like it started on about 7th, 8th stump line and came back on his feet. This one here, just a banana swing. You see the you see the keeper diving to his right to collect this. Just what a couple of brilliant deliveries there from Jesse Singh.
In the gap. It was in the air. I'm not quite sure why you pulled that length back, Jesse. Maybe trying to lift it, but when you get that kind of swing, you still want to test Gunarjit.
I mean, I would have just fallen in love with it myself and just continued to do it just because I could. Like that. I would have just wanted to do it over and over and over again with the swing there.
You mentioned the wiffle ball. Nate, shades of We Got Ice. And Jack Doyle, the way he's pitching it around.
Yeah, one of the stars of the Ball and Play League, the hybrid cricket baseball league. Mohammed Mohsin has participated in that. On display here, Jasker and Malhotra as well.
Just short. This short ball tactic, there's something in it, and I wouldn't expect this to be the only game it's used in, because now we've seen Adil Bhatti use it. We've seen Rishi Dhawan use it, and now Jesse Singh continuing to use it.
Yeah, the short ball has gotten results today. 3 wickets from it, from the fast bowlers between the 2 innings so far. We're only 3 overs into this one. Jesse, what a start for him. 2 runs, 1 wicket. Unreal stuff.
All hands. All hands. Jesse Singh is not letting up. The channel and the areas are spot on.
New Jersey really threatening here to keep themselves in the game. Baltimore at 12 for 1 almost has to feel kind of lucky that things aren't worse for them right now after the quality of bowling we've seen right now from Jesse Singh. It's not going to be easy.
Still a slip in place, rightfully so. The 2 men in the deep. You've got a deep backward square and a deep third. So Daring runs in front. Missed the line. And a change in result. 4 runs ever so easily for Sharad Lumba.
He struck that ball so well. Flying up the hill. Yeah, Jesse just missed his mark there. All those things that could have stopped that ball and made it easy on him. Gets through the gate. Gets over the bleachers. And Thurton is looking around. I think it's the other direction.
And he's just been given word, go out to your right. Go out to your right. We'll see when we come back if he's got the ball in his hand. End of 3, 16 for 1.
Whoever you are, on the field, the dream is what drives us. Gear up for your dreams. Shop now at dreamcricketstore.com.
What a Samaritan. Mr. Nate Hayes. He's off to help Christian Thurton. Looking very stylish, I do have to admit. He's been trying to give me some fashion tips. Let me know if I should take him. Let me know what you guys... Oh, look at that, Nate! Well done! He's been on a ball finding committee or two. Really nicely done. Christian Thurton was looking out there for a little bit, and the locks in the wind, the jacket going. Proud member of the ball finding committee, did it perfectly well. And now he's back, a little out of breath. We'll let him catch it for a second. Nate, well done.
Talking about me being out of breath. What are you talking about?
Really well done. Hey, that was impressive. Found it straight away.
Well, actually, Christian actually spotted it. We think we
Okay.
spotted it at the same time.
Okay.
But I decided that I'd go in there and get dirty for him. You know,
Okay.
I've got experience, Lamont. You know this.
Yes, big ball finding committee fella, this guy. He was maybe the founding member of it. Change now. First signs of spin. Sachin Mailavarapu comes into the attack here in the 4th over. What do you make of this change? I felt you could have gone another over of Stephen Wigg.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you could have for sure, but Sachin bowls well in all phases. He's been a huge performer for New Jersey throughout his career. Let me bring up his stats.
A bold move here, just given the fact that Gunarjit Singh's on strike in the power play. Always dangerous with that ball turning back into the left-hander.
Sachin 70 wickets in 63 career minor league games.
Fielder, just watch it. That'll be 4 runs for Gunarjit Singh. This is the danger.
And Thurton fortunately has to climb the fence once again to get a ball. He's on his own this time.
I got to keep you next to me here, Nate. But Gunarjit Singh has a love affair with this ground. You talk about his half centuries; they've all come here.
Yes, and you know it's amazing. We're this far into the innings. He walked out in the middle to start the game, and he's only seen 5 balls so far.
And this is a staple of his game. He'll get the boundary, and then he's able to maneuver into different areas. For me, I would have gone back to Stephen Wigg. I just don't see the sense of not going there this early. There's not going to be any dew that affects Sachin later in the innings. I can give him more protection later. The ball's seaming. There's extra bounce. Sharad Lumba, yes, hit the one boundary, but other than that, there's a couple of opportunities in that over.
Well, maybe the memory lingering of Lumba's performance last season in the Super 8 might stamp in their minds that he's the guy they have to get out right now, hence the move to Malavarapu.
And they're anticipating Lumba to really go after Malavarapu here. They had just packed in that region behind square on the offside. They've taken it out now, but there still is a short third and a point. Expecting a slog. Too short. Way too short.
Only one run of damage there, but yeah, as you mentioned, that was too short, too easy for Lumba to put where there's no fielders.
And this man Kunrajit Singh, again, he's so difficult to bowl to. Just can't really afford the width with no fielders. Out on the deep on the offside. Misfield. Can't afford those. Not with 90 runs to defend. Insult to injury, it'll go all the way.
Yeah, you can't let that happen in these conditions. Taking the pressure off Baltimore batting. This is Kunwarjeet. He's going to hit them pretty firmly. That one just gets through the field.
Yeah, there's no protection. That's just far too easy. You're just handcuffed in the power play. And Kunrajit Singh says, I finally get some strike, and I found 3 boundaries in the over.
That's 14 runs off the over. This one's just too wide. There was no risk on that shot whatsoever.
Far too easy to close over 430 for 1. The 3rd consecutive for the Stallion captain. Sharad Lumba, he's in some kind of rhythm today.
Yeah, Lumba, what a key player he is for this side. Not only the captain, but he just gives them such a bolster in every area of the game. You don't know if he's going to get 2 overs with the ball or 4. You don't know if he'll be needed to bat deep or if he can just go freely. But he gives them the option to do just about anything here. He's going to play to the circumstance.
Slip taken out now. So I think Jesse Singh, he's got to understand, he's got to earn the right to bowl the short one. That's not the stock length, that's your surprise length. And we've seen him now get too comfortable with bowling short. I think on a situation where they understand you're going to bowl short, he doesn't quite have the pace to frustrate Lumba. But he does get the extra bounce if you're not expecting it.
Yeah, we've seen some very good, very well-directed shorter balls today, and that's the key right there, the well-directed aspect.
Better from Jesse Singh. But you do feel that last over of Malavarapu might have just opened things up. Less than 60 runs left to get now. Again, if you're chasing a 150, 160, it's a whole different task. It's a whole different equation if you have one bat over in the power play. With these runs, you just can't afford it.
Yeah, going back a couple overs before that Malavarapu over, you felt a little bit of pressure on the Baltimore batters. Especially, they had this issue with Kunwarjeet hadn't seen really any balls. And now you've let him off the hook a little bit, and 35 for 1 looks pretty darn good when you're only chasing 90.
And like you said, that pressure was your way into the wicket column. You're never going to manufacture pressure off the scoreboard. You have to do it off of intensity, off of different wickets falling. And you had your dream start. You took the early wicket of Mukhtar Ahmed for no run in the first over. And from that point on, the Royals, they were on the back foot up until that previous over, I'd argue.
Yeah, I think you had them in a spot where you had manufactured some pressure. And here's Jesse Singh going to try to do something here.
Straight through! The swing gets through the left-hander, and Jesse Singh has his man.
Well, he did something for sure, Jesse Singh, star of the Seattle Orcas in Major League Cricket, USA Cricket's vice captain, and this New Jersey Stallions captain for their entirety of their existence. Look at this delivery, just a phenomenal ball. Look at that. Unbelievable swing there from Jesse Singh at just the right length. Beautiful ball.
Perfect delivery of the Stallions. They're going to go with a fight. 35 for 2 as Singh departs for 14. New man in, Agni Chopra, so another left-hander. And he's been prolific this season. But Nate, that delivery from Jesse Singh.
Well, Agni's going to hope he doesn't see one of these. Look at this. Look at the line of this ball when he releases it. About 8th stump. And it just comes in about halfway down the wicket. It decides to turn left. Crashes right into the stumps, right through the gate. What a delivery.
And you're going to need a couple more of those if you're Jesse Singh. It can't just be one wicket every now and again. It's got to be multiple in a consistent interval.
He's got 2 so far. He only has 7 balls to go for his quota on the day. He's got both of the wickets for New Jersey Stallions. He's doing his part, but he's going to have to keep doing his part here. Chopra has a lefty coming in right after that delivery. It's got to be on your mind a little bit.
Yeah, no question it'll just linger a touch, but Agni Chopra, he's not a man who will be lacking confidence, to say the least. The second leading run scorer on this Baltimore Royals side.
What a ball there.
Deals with that perfect Yorker straight away. A wicket in the over, and the big wicket of Gunwarjit Singh, 35 for 2 after 5.
And Wig will take the final over of the power play. Bowling from the Shiloh end of the ground. Give you a little update on this East Bay game over there in the Pacific, in Grand Prairie. East Bay is 120 for 4 after in the 15th over against Silicon Valley Strikers. They're going to have to score big and get the Strikers out early if they want a chance. It's not looking great for them right now. But back to this one, where Jesse Singh has clawed New Jersey Stallions into this game to some extent. Still only 55 needed from 15 overs. So a mountain still before them for New Jersey Stallions and Stephen Wig, who's going to bowl around the stumps to Lumba.
I'm a big fan of that change of angle there for Stephen Wigg. Fan that he's back into the attack. Felt like he never should have been off, but the change of angle, he's recognized that there's wind blowing across him. He's seen that extra bit of swing. And yes, while it's very effective from the left arm over position, the left arm around just keeps the stumps in play at all times to Sharad Lumba. And Wigg is skillful enough to, from this angle, take it away. And that's the biggest thing that'll trouble Lumba, the fact that he still has to play for everything coming back in.
Yeah, very Sorab-esque explanation of the tactic there as far as what Wigg is capable of here, staying away and coming in from this angle with the stumps in play, very much like Sorab likes to do for USA. Really threatening both edges.
This will be an interesting battle for me because Agni Chopra has gone at a strike rate of 150 on the season. He's really led the team in terms of strike rate outside of, when you talk about recognized batters, it's the only guys ahead of him are Mohammad Mohsin and then Shiv Patel and Adil Bhatti, who've combined played 7 deliveries.
Yeah, but Agni Chopra coming here from India, where he's done quite well in the Ranji Trophies. Quite well is an understatement, Aman.
We'll get to his stats in a moment. Yeah, plays first-class cricket for Mizoram and has a first-class average of 94 with a strike rate of 99 in that domestic structure. It's quite ridiculous what he does, Agni Chopra over there, and why is he here? Why is he eligible to play minor league cricket? Well, he was born in Detroit, Nate, so he's a U.S. citizen by trade, and so part of Major League Cricket for those MI New York side, and now he is here in minor league cricket for the very first time.
Didn't get a very long leash there in New York, but he's hoping, I think, to sharpen his blade here in minor league, and he's done quite a good job of it.
And that's another thing that some of these players won't know is yet whether they're kept or not, right? With the retentions and whether you get released, you have no idea what you're going to be at this point. So we've seen some Major League scouts around. Members of the Seattle Orcas were here, flying their way in across the country. And this is an opportunity, if your side were to let you go, to get back in to a Major League team, performing in these Super 8s against the best of the best.
And performing in front of scouts as well. Scamper for an easy single, but we have seen part of the management group of the Seattle Orcas on site scouting these players. They do a good job of that every season, kind of traveling for the Super 8s and for other games throughout the year in minor league cricket. Amongst them, Rishi Bhardwaj, who performed quite well in his time in minor league.
Yeah, won a championship in 2022 with the Seattle Thunderbolts. Actually had a really big performance in the playoffs against those Silicon Valley Strikers. It was when he was able to take across Fidel Edwards. There he is in the middle with the backpack. And again, you can see they value these Super 8s. And we've heard it from some of the players as well. Mohammad Mohsin was telling me that he's heard that a lot of people are really paying attention to minor league in the past couple of years and feel it's a very good gauge, and it is. Justin Gill has gone over there, the man who is a big part of why Major League and minor league happen, the commissioner of Major League Cricket. He's around and greeting everyone with that gleeful smile.
That'll get a immediate head shake from the umpire. No. And after the power play, Baltimore Royals 37 for 2. And let's take a look there at the worm chart I'm on. It's pretty much dueling worms right now, except for those 2 early wickets for New Jersey Stallions in just about the same place. Baltimore just a little bit ahead, but both of these teams having lost 2 wickets at this point. The big question is, can Baltimore avoid that collapse that plagued New Jersey in their first innings? where they lost 3 wickets there right at 55 runs before they scored another run.
Yeah, and that's again where the game really turned because you lose Christian Thurn and Sai Mukamala there, and the game just never looked the same. And so when you lose wickets in clumps, that's where you see the biggest collapses in teams and the biggest struggles to find runs. This is an interesting move here. The Stallions' continuing seam makes sense. Nawab Singh has the ball in hand, and you're not surprised to see it be seam. And I think you're going to see a lot more of that to come, Nate.
Yeah, perhaps it's a strength for this New Jersey Stallions team. They do have some good spin options as well, but it is definitely their strength. As Nawab tries to break through here. And that'll be flicked, but directly to the field. It's just going to be the one. That brings Lumba back on strike. He's done a great job steadying things here for Baltimore, getting through kind of some nervous times. He's done it before this season for this Baltimore Royals franchise. They don't have very many nervous times, I have to say. He's batted deep for them.
And Nawab Singh presents his own challenges, someone who's been playing mostly in Canada through his career, and he's represented the GT a couple sides in the GT20, the Brampton Wolves, the Vancouver Knights, and is primarily that bowler. So we'll see what he's able to do here. Needs a wicket. Have to have it. Again, 38 runs already on the board. There's just no time to settle into the game anymore.
If you're Baltimore, you're just happy to rotate strike. Just happy to take turns. These two are going to want to see this through to the end.
And I think that's another thing that is a real strength for Baltimore. It's their understanding, and they're very cognizant about the situation the game demands. I think situational awareness in T20 cricket sometimes can be a lost art, but they have a great understanding through a lot of their top 7 of when to go and when can I just take singles, and these two might be up near the top of that list.
This one's flicked. One hops the field. And it's just going to be a run, and they've looks like they've gone after Chopra's heels a couple of times here. And yeah, as you mentioned, Aman, how important it is to have game awareness, to know what the moment calls for and deliver that. And so often some of the bigger leagues around the world, maybe the IPL, it's 200 chasing 200 all the time. It's just come in and go bang. And there's a lot of nuance to minor league cricket, especially here at Church Street Park, especially here in the Atlantic.
There's no question about it. There are times where you feel a team is way under par, and somehow they've come in and they've been able to defend that total. Or the Stallions a couple of weeks ago, where they were batting in a collapse and they were pretty much done, and Mukamala was able just to kind of salvage an innings and just keep trekking along. So there are those little bits of nuance that apply into minor league cricket, even major league cricket. When you go down to Grand Prairie, there's those nuances and ebbs and flows in games.
Yeah, when we had them here the first couple of seasons, same thing. This one right straight down the ground, and it's going to fly over everything. 6 runs there for Lumba. What a beautiful stroke.
Well, we see some cameras flying around, and that's the wallpaper I need. That freeze frame of Lumba at the end. Look at this. A skip down the ground and hold the pose. That is classic Sharad Lumba. Effortless, elegant, destructive. 6 runs, 46 for 2 at the close of 7.
Anaruda Emanuel with the ball. We've seen him all over the Eastern Division. He's made his way here to New Jersey Stallions. Big shoes to fill. Their leg spinner for the past several seasons. Quite good, Ray Ramratan. And now you got Anaruda Emanuel coming out off the heels of a really good game for him last weekend. And a good season, a good regular season for him. So he's going to want to break through here and stamp his name on this tournament.
And you'll say, oh, he's starting to a lefty. That's tough for a leg spinner. But Emanuel does bowl that googly very often.
This one flatter.
And he is typically flatter through the air. We see him push quite a bit quicker. I think this past season he started to slow things down, and that's where you've seen him be much more effective taking wickets. But the situation right now just demands a clog of runs rather than trying to tempt batters into throwing their wicket away.
And Lumba looking really strong. You mentioned him watching his shot last time, holding the pose. Always a good sign that you're seeing the ball well when you hold the pose like that. And this one's just read well by Lumba, who steps across and helps this over the rope for 4 runs. It's a fine leg.
It kind of gave his hand away. Emanuel knew it was going to be pushed flat and quick, and so Lumba knew he just had to maneuver himself with no fine leg. Pretty safe shot in the end, getting outside the off stump as well. And that's easy pickings for someone who's seeing it as well as Shadad Lumba.
Wearing number 99 there. That is the Wayne Gretzky number.
J.J. Watt, if you will.
There you go. A couple of superstars. Hall of Famers in their respective sports. Once again, he'll come across the stumps and play this one into empty space and run 2. So 6 from the last 2 balls for Lumba against Emanuel, and it's just been not flair, it's not been effort, it's been grace.
And when you look at Shadad Lumba, you look at cricketers around the world, and everyone's got a little pre-shot routine. You watch him every single ball, grabs his bat face, takes his guard pretty consistently, but he'll grab his bat face, and then he'll just use his top hand to guide his bat in front of his front toe, just to say, I got space there, 1 tap, and he's ready to go.
Takes a whack at that one, but gets through harmlessly. And you gotta love those little ticks, those little routines, I think. You see it in baseball, you see it in cricket. This is a sport where you're in the spotlight when you're up there. Everyone's looking at you. Oh, whiffs on that one. But I think little things like that, little routines like that help you just stay focused, stay in the moment. He does that every single time. Whew. How did that do nothing? Unbelievable delivery there from Anaruda Emanuel to close the over. What a great comeback from him. 53 with a loss of 2 after 8. And the Wop stays on for the 9th over. His prior over went for 9 runs. Don't want to strike in this one for sure. bowling on the legs. On the legs to Chopra seems to be the theme today.
Well, they've packed that region of the field as well. You look at fine leg was pushed around, backwards square in place. So you're hoping Chopra, who plays with very hard hands in this format of the game, is just a bit early on one. Just gets it in the air and maybe it carries to one of those fielders.
You see Lumbo adopting the Nomar Garcia-Parra routine a little bit, adding that to the routine, the undoing and redoing the batting gloves. That's a wide. Can't afford many of them.
No, again, this game is slipping away, and it's going to meander through. Net run rate's so huge when you talk about these Super 8s. I think it's more so important for the losing team here rather than the winning team. And the reason I say that is because I do think it's going to come down to a perfect side here probably, unless something changes. But if you lose on opening day by a big margin, you're basically done.
Well stopped there on the circle, inner circle. Tomorrow we've got New Jersey versus the Somerset Cavaliers, so two rival teams. And then Atlanta Fire versus Baltimore here. That's going to be a really big game here under the lights at Church Street Park. Huge game. These two teams, the only teams that they've each respectively lost to. Atlanta beating Baltimore in the first, and then Baltimore coming back in the second matchup. A full toss here. Gets away with it relatively.
And even those New Jersey games, the Cavaliers' only losses on the season came against those Stallions very early on in the season, the opening weekend. So that'll be a fun little inter-division rivalry matchup. But I look at tonight's game as a big one as well. The Atlanta Fire and the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. Who gets to win there? While the Fire probably on paper look better, the Cavaliers are accustomed to this spot. You know, they have a lot of guys who would love to play at Church Street Park and have a destructive top order with great seamers all around.
Well, they do value their power play. Kenar Lewis, what a stud he's been in minor league cricket. He is their right-handed version of Steven Taylor, I guess you would say. He can absolutely pummel the ball.
And they might have a left-handed version as well in Chandrapal Hemraj to join him up top the order.
That's true. Of course, you could talk about Gaj Singh on that squad.
Ali Imran's been a real revelation for them this season.
Yeah.
So don't go anywhere. Tune in 6 p.m. Eastern Time here at Church Street Park. Under the lights, the Fire will take on those Somerset Cavaliers.
This one, another wide here. It's Nawab struggling to find his line right now. Two wides in a row to Chopra. This game slipping away rather quickly from the New Jersey Stallions. They're going to need some special production here from their bowling attack.
Yeah, Nawab hasn't been part of the team the whole way through the season, just the 4 matches this year in his first year in minor league cricket. Only has the 2 wickets to his name, so it's a real punt throwing him the ball, but it's the fact that you need some seamers, and he gives you a third option, right? While we've talked about how they've been led by seamers, it's 2 seamers. And their third one, they haven't really found. They can turn to an Arjun Vajala, who has opened the batting for them, but bowls a little bit of seam. They look to Nawab here, but it's always a big question, that third seaming position. It's plagued the USA for years, and right now it's plaguing those New Jersey Stallions.
Well, in the East, you don't always need 3 seamers. Really helps to have them here at Church Street Park, and especially down in Grand Prairie, where New Jersey was exposed a little bit last season in similar fashion, or a lot of it.
And that would be the frustrating part for New Jersey, is they're right up there as the winningest team in minor league cricket, but when you get to these playoffs, and really since the first 2 years, they look almost out of place. And you just go back to conditions, you go back to why they were so good in 21 when you had the Justin Dill to pair up with Singh and Stephen Wigg. That was probably the best addition of that pace bowling group when they had Rovman Powell around to bowl some pace as well. They just don't have that third seamer, and they've really struggled in conditions outside of that Eastern Conference.
And that's the over. 30 still needed to win off of 11 overs. Baltimore Royals end the 9th over 60 with a loss of 2. And Emmanuel staying in the attack here for the 10th over. I'm on this Baltimore Royals franchise. Wasn't always in the South Division. They used to be in the East Division for the first couple of seasons of minor league. They moved down here. I think that move for the franchise, I mean, geographically speaking, it was kind of like either or. Either of them made sense. But I think that move has actually helped the franchise out a bit. They've gotten to play more games at Church Street Park, Atlanta. These grounds are, better for the most part than the Eastern grounds. I don't want to disparage the East Conference too much, but it does help you when it comes to getting into the playoffs. And once you're in the playoffs, look at that reverse sweep shot there. And that's going to go for 4 runs. Chopra getting creative.
Seen him do it a couple of times this season, and knew he was just going to keep pushing across, so he felt very safe, felt like he had enough time. And how high did that one go? It felt like he hit it up rather than far, but it went all the way. Emmanuel's got to rethink the plans.
He just had to get it over one guy. And this one's going to get a shout, but it looks like maybe it had some bat or glove. Pitching, I think, a little bit on leg anyways.
Yeah, Emmanuel's struggles typically are with the line, more so than anything else. He does drop the odd one short, but he tends to get away with it with how quick he bowls.
There's an appeal, I'm not sure what for.
Desperation. At this point, it is desperation. You see under 30 to go, and you need to get 10 wickets. You need 8 more. And you got 1 in the first over, and there would be that frustration lingering.
Yeah, I think one thing Chopra's gonna do here is, we know his class, we know the formats that he's played in. You mentioned his first class statistics. He's already shown that he's a T20 batter in minor league cricket this season. I think he's capable of switching gears and doing exactly what's needed for his team. And right now, it's just see it through. Just don't do anything too crazy. Just let's get through this innings. But so good at playing the ball to the leg side in the space on those deliveries. That's the end of 10. We're halfway through the innings or more. Baltimore Royals 67 with a loss of 2. Let's take a look at the worm chart here. And the Royals are starting to sail past that time period in the first innings where New Jersey Stallions lost 3 quick runs. The Royals have worked through that. 67 a loss for 2. And you see a little bit of worming around.
The key difference there was just those circles. Those dots. We saw the dots, like you mentioned, all over that New Jersey Stallions side. And so now they've taken a second punt of the day. Sai Mukamala, who has become a bowler for this team. 7 innings, 8 wickets across the season.
He whacks it to mid-wicket, but just one.
I thought he delivered one straight away. I saw it tracking. I said, is that going to get there? It'd be very Sai Mukamala to just take a wicket, just out of the blue.
It would be very Sai Mukamala. Speaking of Sai Mukamala and wickets, Aman, I know somebody who's taken a Sai Mukamala wicket.
I don't know who you're talking about, Nate.
Yeah, come on now. You got it on your wall, like framed, I think.
It's definitely still on my phone, and sorry, Sai. Yes, I do have his wicket.
It's your lock screen, is it?
Maybe it needs to be. You know what? Maybe that change needs to happen. Or I need next time I see Sai, I just put up my phone.
Yeah.
And Sai, there you go. And I haven't bowled to him since.
Haven't bowled to him since?
I don't think I might have done it one more time since.
Does he call you sir? Oh, this one, he goes with the ball there. It's, oh my gosh, just spilled over. It was a running effort, but he got there. You got to expect that catch to be made by Jesse Singh. He's usually going to take those.
He's so sure-handed, Jesse Singh. You don't see him drop too many, and it was a difficult chance, but it's a chance nonetheless. In position, in place, he'd expect to take that. He was just falling too quickly. I think he was just feeling like he overran it, and once you start to dip, you're never in good position.
This one to long on.
And I just need to go back to you saying, does Sai call me sir? No. He's the one with international hundreds, not me.
Yeah.
So
well, you're older than him, though.
It doesn't matter.
But aren't you?
Doesn't
you're older
matter.
than him.
Doesn't matter. He's got the international 100. I'll call him sir.
Yeah, okay. But be proud of yourself, Aman. You graduated college at the age of 20. I don't know many people who could say that they got through college at the age of 20.
I feel like we've taken a massive wrong turn here. I don't know how we got to this part of the conversation.
I was 23. I was 23 when I graduated.
Nothing wrong with that. That feels like a normal number.
There you go. Oh, almost overran once again out there. But now it's just ticking over the overs. Baltimore Royals are chasing 90, and they've got 77 with a loss of 2. Anirudh Emanuel continues. 14 from his 2. A normal day, that's not too shabby from a leggy, but that's going to go for 4 runs there as Chopra steps across that one and helps it behind square.
Anirudh Emanuel has just been so predictable. Knows is going to be pushing across him, and so he can get into that position because the length has been back of it. Never tested that front foot. So Agni Chopra felt very comfortable stepping across to give himself access to that leg side with that fine leg fielder inside the ring. It's effortless, really.
Well, we've seen that early boundary in Anirudh Emanuel overs take the pressure right off or allow them to not create. And it's caught right there. Excellent catch. He said go fuller. He goes a little fuller that time. Stephen Wigg makes a good barrel roll catch. Baltimore Royals have lost their 3rd.
Yeah, Agni Chopra wanted to finish it in this over. Just try to get a little bit too cheeky. And Stephen Wigg judges it well in the end. Emanuel strikes. It's 81 for 3.
And Jaskar Malhotra will come in, 9 runs needed to win. You got to think that the idea here is get his eye in for the rest of the tournament. You could go with just about anybody at this point.
Yeah, important that he's in flow. Again, he's such an X factor given the fact that he can bludgeon the boundaries and the sixes at the end of an innings. If you're not going to play Mukhtar Ahmed in that role, Justin Malhotra has to step into it alongside Rashid Dhawan, alongside Mohammad Mohsin. The only other bat I would have considered here really would have been Rashid Ramesh, just to give him a little bit more experience.
Jaskar reaches for this one.
Yeah, it's single digits. Down to just 8 required now for the Baltimore Royals, and I don't expect Lumba to try to play any expansive stroke.
This will go a long way for one team's net run rate and a long way against another. Everybody plays everybody in this. This is a very difficult way to start off if you're New Jersey.
And it's just, now you're getting dealt with the death by 1,000 cuts. You know, it just feels like they're just going to single. You're going to have to bowl 8 balls rather than giving up that 6. Is that a better way to go, Nate, the 1,000 cuts, or would you rather be dealt with a couple of big blows?
I think at this point it doesn't matter. Boy, Anirudh Emanuel always looks like his legs are about to slide out from under him when he gets to the crease there.
Yeah, it's such an interesting action, just given the fact that the head falls over and it gives him the angle back into the right-hander.
Look where his feet are behind his head by such a degree. Oh, that one nearly taken. But let down, and that's the end of the 12th over. Baltimore Royals 83 for 3 and sailing. Malavaru comes back into the attack for his second over today.
And to me, this is where the game really changed in terms of, in this innings in particular, giving Sachin Mailavarapu the ball in that power play. Stephen Wigg had bowled phenomenally. There weren't boundaries on the board. Gunurjit Singh was going to be on strike, and you almost tossed him to the wolves. I just feel that you had to go Stephen Wigg again. Not saying it would have changed the result of the game, but I think you had the best opportunity to take another wicket or at least add more pressure.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The 14-run over was just really let the pressure off. What little pressure there was that was starting to build, it just let the top off of it all. And Lumba here. He defends that one. He's done a great job here of making sure that this is a sure thing for Baltimore. And that's going to be a wide. They're going to do that one again.
Yeah, Sachin, again, it's not that he's a bad bowler. We're not making this point to say that Sachin can't bowl in the power play. He's more than effective in the power play. The point more so is just what the situation demanded, that situational awareness that we spoke of earlier.
And that brings up 50 runs for Lumba off of 38. Fantastic stuff from Lumba. He's going to raise his bat to his bench, let him know that he appreciates their cheers. He's pretty happy about it, and why not?
Yeah, and Jessica gave him a little joke there at the end too, I'm sure. He saw the smile and the punch, but again, the captain came in a pressure situation. It was 0 for 1. I know you're only chasing 90, but the way Jesse Singh started, it could have been real trouble.
Maybe it's a little bit of an aggressive throw right there. Now you only need 2 runs. And Lumba on strike again.
And we'll take us to one more over of play. Close with 13.89 for 3.
Whoever you are on the field, the dream is what drives us. Gear up for your dreams. Shop now at dreamcricketstore.com.
Scores are level as it looks like we have one Hunter the Manual rather bowling with the ball in hand. And the Baltimore Orioles just looking to add the finishing touches to a statement victory to start out these Super 8s.
Yeah, Lumba on strike now. He brought up earlier his 4th minor league half century in his career, his 2nd this season. Both of them happening here at Church Street Park. He's been something special to behold here at Church Street.
Field condensed, and now with that 1 run left to go, just 2 men in the deep, long on and deep mid-wicket. So expect Lumba to go there. And making him wait as well. A little gamesmanship from Jesse Singh and Anirudh Manual. Well stopped. It was struck very firmly. Gonna make him wait one more delivery. But yeah, give a lot of credit to Lumba. Again, coming in and not an easy situation as well as Jesse Singh was bowling. And just steady the ship. Gets through and will be a boundary. A 4th half-century in minor league cricket for Sharad Lumba carries and anchors the Baltimore Royals into victory to start these Super 8s, and a commanding one at that.
Just a dominant performance. We've come to expect this from Baltimore Royals here at Church Street Park. We saw them put together a similar performance against Atlanta Lightning, a very good team earlier in the season. And now they've done it against a previously undefeated team, New Jersey Stallions, who've now just suffered their first defeat of the entire minor league cricket season.
It was domination the whole way through, and you see the heavy heads of the Stallions. They feel that they've done themselves a disservice. And again, it's a back-to-back start for a Super 8 for the Stallions that they'll want to forget. They were dismantled in Grand Prairie, and they haven't been able to right those wrongs yet. And they'll be hoping that there's some kind of divine intervention to keep them in contention in 2025. But complete domination from the Baltimore Royals. We have a look at that batting card. It was the initial wicket of Mukhtar Ahmed, but Sharad Lumba was brilliant with 55 of his own. Gunarjit Singh, that over that went for 14, purely him. And then Agni Chopra 17 to just finish things off.
Yeah, terrific stuff from the Baltimore batting. Jesse Singh looked brilliant. We only got 3 overs out of him today. You have to imagine they were saving him for a little bit later, but only 11 runs conceded with the 2 wickets. He was absolutely standout. Stephen Wigg looked solid in his couple of overs, and Anirudh Manual took the only other wicket for the side, but nobody really brought them back into this innings the way that they needed them to from this bowling attack aside from Jesse Singh.
Well, that's the start to Church Street Park in these Super 8s. We had to wait a day, but an exciting way to kick things off here in 2025. Don't go anywhere. You can stay on MLC Network, watch the East Bay Blazers take on the Silicon Valley Strikers, but join us again, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have the second game under lights at Church Street Park as the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, they'll take on those Atlanta Fire in a game that will feature incredible star power. Join us then.